Madison Square Garden. It means everything. It's a history. I'm blessed to be here representing my home roots of Brooklyn, New York.
Being from Newark, it means everything to me to fight at MSG in front of so many thousands of people that's coming out and supporting me.
Boxing fans, have you ever wondered why we don't have a specific source on YouTube that you could go to that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and give you up-to-date boxing news plus the current boxing odds? Well, my team and I behind the scenes over the last few months have been working hard to bring this product to you. It's a brand new 24/7 live stream channel called Boxing News Now. They are sponsoring this video. Go to their YouTube channel right now and become part of YouTube's first ever 24/7 boxing only live stream. What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's world title fight at 140 pounds between the ring and WBO world champion Teofimo Lopez and the challenger Shakur Stevenson. Before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? Hit the notification button on my channel so you never miss one of my world famous daily professional betting live streams. Also, guys, we launched our new Patreon. The Patreon link is pinned in the comment section below. It's a couple bucks a month. You get access to our private VIP betting Discord. Also, become a member on our YouTube channel. That link is pinned as well, a couple bucks a month. Whichever one you choose, you gain access to our Discord. The Discord is a growing community. We launched it a couple months ago. We are at around 340 VIPs in that Discord. Click the link to find out more. Guys, if you've been following the channel all week, you know that this week is filled with great fights all across the globe. We've already featured fights that are going down in the UK between Josh Kelly and Bakram Murtazaev. That's a world title fight at 154 pounds. We've also covered another world title fight taking place at 160 pounds between Carlos Adames and the challenger Amma Williams. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the ring and WBO champ Teofimo Lopez putting his belt on the line, daring to be great against the 135-pound champion Shakur Stevenson. Shakur is attempting to become a 4-division world champion. If you weren't aware, he's won titles at 26, 30, 35, and this opportunity at 40 will further cement his legacy as one of his era's greats. Teofimo Lopez is trying to continue on his Hall of Fame trajectory, and just having these two finally meet in the ring is a treat for all boxing fans, no matter who you're going for. Both guys were 2016 Olympians. We know Teo represented Honduras, and we know Shakur represented the U.S. and won a silver medal. Both guys have carved out quite the careers thus far, and fingers crossed, we're only a few days away. Hopefully both men come into this fight at 100%, and we can see the high-level chess match that fight fans are expecting. So in this video, what we're going to do is break down both fighters' careers. We're going to talk a little bit about how they go about their business, and like always, stay tuned to the end of the video. That's where I'm going to be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. All right, guys, 2025 was a year for Shakur Stevenson. He fought twice, not as active, but, you know, 2 fights in a calendar year at this stage of his career is definitely getting work done. We last saw him in the ring against William Zepeda, a front forward Mexican who pressures you, uses volume, high knockout to win ratio, and going into that fight, a lot of people were saying, all right, this is gonna be the style that Shakur struggles with. Did you watch the fight? Did he struggle? Was he running? All of these questions you should be able to answer. Shakur stood in the pocket the entire fight. He was catching and shooting against Zepeda, using his world-class speed and timing and his defensive acumen. This southpaw, in my opinion, is one of the greatest defensive fighters of his era, and only time will tell if we could put him up there with the all-time greats. I think there's a false narrative around Shakur Stevenson's fight style for the casuals. A lot of people will look at that one fight against Edwin De Los Santos, a fight in which he spoke about afterwards his hands were injured, and you got to see a guy with injuries in his hands still being able to get a victory using the entire ring. Why is that important? Not every fighter, when their tools are taken away, has a plan B or C against a guy like Edwin De Los Santos, against any opponent. in that matter and could still be good enough to get the victory. That's what Shakur did. Since that fight, we saw him against Josh Padley, 9th round stoppage. And Shakur is that great of a talent in which a guy could get stopped against Shakur on late notice and be elevated as in Padley. And check your box rec. Padley's fighting this weekend as well, was signed to Matchroom afterwards. And it just is a testament to how good Shakur Stevenson is. With Teofimo Lopez, he fought once last year. He fought against Arnold Barboza Jr. in that ring card that was in Times Square. A lot of people who broke down this fight, myself included, hats off to Teo. He fought really well. If you've never seen Teofimo Lopez fight, this is a boxer puncher. He has an unorthodox style. His skills are all about athleticism, explosivity. He makes his opponents guess. And in my opinion, the greatest thing about Teo is he learns on the job, meaning whatever his opponent is giving him, he makes adjustments mid-punch, mid-fight. Not many fighters could say they could do that. And this gives Teofimo the edge. And this is why he's a world champion. His only loss was a split decision loss against George Kambosos. He's been in there with Hall of Famers. He beat Vasily Lomachenko. He's coming off that win, like I said, against ABJ, who was on a hot streak in his own right. He has wins over Sandor Martin, Steve Claggett, Jermaine Ortiz, and in my opinion, in this recent version of Teo, his best victory was Josh Taylor. The one question about Teofimo Lopez that his fans and naysayers will ask is, what version are you going to get? Are you going to get that switched on, psychologically focused Teofimo Lopez, that athletically gifted, explosive athlete? When that guy shows up, not many people in the world can beat him. And this is why fight fans are super excited about this matchup, because with Shakur, you know you're going to get a focus switched on who's always locked in from the opening bell to the final bell. So moving forward, I do want to take a closer look at the challenger, Shakur Stevenson, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Shakur Stevenson is 24-0. Of his 24 wins, 11 of them are by way of knockout. He's ranked in BoxRec's algorithm at 135 pounds. Out of 2,670 fighters there, he is ranked number 1. He carries into the ring a 46% career knockout to win ratio and is the WBC World Lightweight Champion. The 28-year-old American is a 5'8" southpaw with a 68-inch reach. He was born in Newark, New Jersey, but calls Houston, Texas, USA home. We last saw him fight William Zepeda, 33-0, UD in the 12th. Padley, 15-0, stopped him in the 9th. Harutnian, 12-1, UD in the 12th. Edwin De Los Santos, 16-1, UD in the 12th. Yoshino, 16-1, stopped him in the 6th. Conceição, 17-1, UD in the 12th. And the fights before that, he beat Oscar Valdez, Jamel Herring, and Nakatia. So just like Teofimo, everybody they put in front of Shakur, highly ranked former world champions, Shakur has beat them. Shakur is undefeated for a reason. If you're a fan of the sweet science, the minutia of the sport, watching a guy control range and distance of the entire fight with his jab, with his lead foot, with his speed, with his angles, the way he moves in and out of the pocket, he tends to move on a straight line, but he's so fast, he could get away with sometimes leaving his chin right there. He will use the entire ring if he needs to. Go watch the Edwin fight. But he'll stand there and trade with you and go punch for punch if he has to. Go watch the William Zepeda fight. This guy is not a runner. This guy is a puncher who uses his defense to round out a world-class game. I feel the game plan in this fight is going to match Teofimo's energy from the opening bell. Stand with him. I think they're going to go speed for speed, punch for punch, and figure it out on the go. Both guys can adapt. Both guys have the skill set. Shakur's the southpaw. Teofimo's the orthodox fighter. I really think it's going to come down to who frustrates who first, and that's why I said all fight week, mental focus is going to be key here when you have two guys who are as athletic and as gifted as both Shakur and Teo. Right now, let's take a look at the world champion Lopez and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Teo is 22-1. Of his 22 wins, 13 of them are by way of knockout. His one loss was by decision. Out of 2,721 fighters in the world at 140 pounds, he's ranked number 1. He's fought a career total of 149 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 59% career knockout to win ratio. He is the WBO and Ring World Super Lightweight Champion. His adoring fans know him as the Takeover, and the 28-year-old American is a 5'9" orthodox fighter with a 68.5-inch reach. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, but calls Las Vegas, Nevada, USA home. We last saw him fight Arnold Barboza Jr., 32-0, won a UD in the 12th. Claggett, 38-7, won a UD in the 12th. Jermaine Ortiz, 17-1, won a UD in the 12th. Josh Taylor, 19-0, won a UD in the 12th. Sandor Martin, 40-2, won a split decision in the 10th. The fight before that, he stopped Campa, and the fight before that, he experienced his first loss against George Kambosos Jr. Both guys are only 28 years old. Both guys are in their physical prime. Teofimo Lopez, when he's at his best, he is a joy to watch. He is boxing in a nutshell. He's creative in there, he's artistic in there, and he ticks all the boxes from an athletically gifted perspective and from a marketability perspective. This is why he's in big fight after big fight. Hats off to both men for taking this fight. Of course, said he asked for this fight. He wanted to dare to be great and attempt to be a 4-division world champion. Teofimo said these two guys have been paired next to each other since the amateur days, and he knew at one time or another they were going to have to fight. Lopez is as confident as I've seen him going into a fight. He's going to be the bigger guy. He's going to be, I think, the more athletic guy. I give the speed advantage to Shakur. I give the defense advantage to Shakur. I also give the psychological advantage right now to Shakur, but all that could change, the mental side, once that bell rings. You never know what a fighter is going to do when the lights are super bright and there's adversity. I think both guys in this matchup throughout the 12 rounds will see adversity. I think they're both going to have to make adjustments, and it's going to come down to who's going to be able to do that in the split moment better. And it's why I'm sitting here waiting for Saturday night to come. Before I give you my predictions and talk a little bit about those current money line odds, I want to remind everybody, I do live streams every day. We don't talk just about the big fights. We talk about all of the fights. And in those live streams, we do our long parlays, method of victories, our underdogs of the week. Guys, if you're in our Discord or in our Patreon, I've already given you 4 tickets. I gave you my dog of the week. I gave you my dog parlay, which is a 2-legger. I gave you my long parlay, which is a 10-leg money line parlay. And I also gave you my method of victory prop of the week. To get all that, simply become a JSB Insider. That link is pinned in the comment section below. Whatever way you join, whether on YouTube or Patreon, you get access to our world famous Johnny Says Boxing Discord. All right, guys, wherever you are in the world, let's pull out our betting apps. Currently on the money line, the world champion, Teofimo Lopez, is the underdog at $3.45. You put 100 on Teo to win, you get your money back plus 245 bucks. Shakur Stevenson, the one who's coming up from 35 to 40, is $1.37 favorite. 100 on Shakur on the money line gets your money back plus 37 bucks. The way I look at this fight fan first from my perspective, thank God we get to see it. 2 men in their prime, 2 of the best in their era, meeting at 140 pounds. I'm super excited to see this. Shakur Stevenson, I've always said since the amateurs, always one of my favorite fighters. When I started fighting at a young age as a 7-year-old, I was the runt of the gym. I had to learn defense. I had to use my opponent's aggression against them, and I had to learn how to counter and use the entire ring. I was always a fan of fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, Paulie Spadafora, and so Shakur Stevenson is cut from that ilk. I just think Shakur Stevenson does things in the ring that nobody else can do, with his gliding in and out of danger and then coming back in, catching, countering. We know about the Philly shell. Both guys will use the Philly shell. Teofimo Lopez, the unorthodox guy, when he's at his best, when he's cooking, he's taking what his opponent is giving him and he's making him pay for that. I just think he's going to be a little bit in over his head from a skill set department. From the skills, what do they always say? The Young Bucks, skills pay the bills. I'm going all in on witnessing Shakur Stevenson becoming a 4-division world champion. Guys, you do not have to agree with me. This is not an echo chamber. I know the boys are going to be torn one side or the other. In the comment section below, are we going to hear and still for the takeover or and new for Shakur? Guys, also, if you haven't seen my breakdown, prediction, and analysis of the world title fight at 154 pounds in Newcastle between the world champion Bakhran Murtazayev and the challenger Joshua Kelly, stay tuned because that's coming up right now. Boxing fans, have you ever wondered why we don't have a specific source on YouTube that you could go to that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and give you up-to-date boxing news plus the current boxing odds? Well, my team and I behind the scenes over the last few months have been working hard to bring this product to you. It's a brand new 24/7 live stream channel called Boxing News Now. They are sponsoring this video. Go to their YouTube channel right now and become part of YouTube's first ever 24/7 boxing only live stream. What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's fight at 140 pounds in New York between Jermaine Ortiz and Keyshawn Davis. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? Hit the notification button on my channel so you never miss one of my world famous daily professional betting live streams. Also, guys, we launched our new Patreon. The Patreon link is pinned in the comment section below. It's a couple bucks a month. You get access to our private VIP betting Discord. Also, become a member on our YouTube channel. That link is pinned as well, a couple bucks a month. Whichever one you choose, you gain access to our Discord. The Discord is a growing community. We launched it a couple months ago. We are at around 340 VIPs in that Discord. Click the link to find out more. On a long list of fights that I want to see in the next 7 days, the return of the businessman Keyshawn Davis at 140 pounds sits right atop that list. He's moving up a weight class with Keyshawn. We know everything that comes with him. We know about what he's been through. We know about his undefeated record. And we know about the marketability, persona, and charisma of Davis. He's stepping up and he's trying to erase all of the naysayers and negative chat of what we saw take place earlier in 2025 in Norfolk, Virginia, in which he was the world champion at 135. He was on this upward trajectory, having stopped Dennis Baranchyk and Gustavo Lemos, and it seemed like the time was now for a new superstar in boxing. And I feel with everything that happened, him missing weight, the fight being canceled, him leaving his team of Bomac going back home, this is the best opportunity for Keyshawn to jump right back into the superstar conversation and remind the boxing world why everybody is so high on the 26-year-old. He will be facing a true veteran, the 29-year-old Jermaine Ortiz. They call him the technician for a reason. This is a guy who's mixed it up with some of the best in the world. He doesn't have a perfect record. He's lost 2 close decisions, both on the cards unanimously. But if you rewatch the fights against Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, you'd understand why Jermaine Ortiz is a legit world-class fighter. He does a lot of things really well. He's a defensive-minded fighter, and in my opinion, this most recent version, he's won 3 in a row since his last loss to Teo, has been a version in which I have been seeing him throw more punches. It was one of the knocks I had on Jamaine when he was younger is I wish he threw more. I wish he was a little bit more offensively minded, and we're seeing slowly but surely him turning the pressure and volume up and adding a new wrinkle into his game. So in this video, what we're gonna do is take a close look at both fighters' careers. We're gonna talk a little bit about how they go about their business. And like always, guys, stay tuned to the end of the video. That's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. All boxing fan knows the last 365 days of Keyshawn Davis' career has been filled with turmoil. And the frustrating thing about it for being a boxing fan has been, it's been self-sabotage, self-destructive. Up until that fight card in Norfolk, this was an opportunity. This was almost like his coming out party to the world as who's up next. You know, online boxing community always uses that phrase, he's up next, or so-and-so is up next. This was Keyshawn Davis in the slip of a scale, in non-preparation, the lack of locked in or being switched on, the lack of discipline. He let it all go away. He disappeared for a while. He even said after the debacle in Norfolk that he was retiring. He was quiet for a little bit on social media, came back, said he was coming back at the end of January in a new division with a new mindset and a new team. And in less than a week, we're going to see the changes that he's made. In the ring, this is an exciting, explosive former world champion. This is a guy who's long, who has a great jab, his speed and power. One of my favorite things about Keyshawn is when he's cooking, he's a dog. He'll cut the distance, he'll fight you in range, and I love his body work. We'll see if that carries up to 140. When I talk about division changes and gaps in weight classes, 135 to 140 isn't really a big deal to me. You see guys going up and down all the time, so I'm not that worried about it being a new division for him. I just feel it should be mentioned for everybody out there keeping track and keeping score. This will be a new division for Keyshawn. We've never seen him fight as a pro with this body weight. In his opponent, Jermaine Ortiz, this is a guy who feels he's been looked past his entire career. He feels he's been slated, and once again, when we take a look at the odds, he won't be happy with the disrespect, in my opinion, where the bookies have him. When we're talking about a value play on the money line, Jermaine Ortiz is a dog. When we go over these odds, it's almost like crazy to not sprinkle something on Jermaine Ortiz, but you'll have to wait for when we get there. For now, I do want to take a closer look at both guys' careers. Let's take a closer look at Keyshawn first and see what he's been up to. Guys, Keyshawn is 13-0 with 9 knockouts. He is ranked in BoxRec's algorithm at super lightweight, even though he's never fought there. Out of 2,721 fighters at 140, he's ranked number 4. He's fought a career total of 84 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 69% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as the businessman. And the 26-year-old American is a 5'9" orthodox fighter with a 70-inch reach. He was born and raised in Norfolk, Virginia, USA. We last saw him fight Dennis Baranchik, 19-0, stopped him in the 4th. Lemos, 29-1, stopped him in the 2nd. Madueño, 31-2, UD in the 10th. Pedraza, 29-5, stopped him in the 6th. Nahir Albright, 16-2, no contest, no decision in the 10th. And guys, that Nahir Albright fight happened in 2023. It's his only blemish on his record. If you guys didn't know, it went the distance. It was a 10-rounder. Keyshawn won that fight on the scorecards, but later failed a post-fight drug test for cannabis, weed, marijuana he was smoking, and the commissioners didn't like it, and they turned it into a no contest, no decision. It's his only blemish. We should have saw back then in 2023 that there were signs of sort of slip-ups or the possibilities of the lack of discipline. When we think about an undefeated young potential world champion at the time of 2023, you're thinking about a guy who has all of those boxes ticked, surrounding himself around positive influences and having that mind switched on to put together a potential Hall of Fame career, because that's what a lot of the people who've been surrounded by Keyshawn his entire career have said. We know about the mentorship with Shakur Stevenson and Terence Crawford. We know about the stories of sparring, and we know about the toughness coming out of Norfolk, Virginia. With Keyshawn Davis, it's going to come down to, has he put all of those ghosts in his past, and is he ready to step into the shoes of what his people think are a potential Hall of Fame career type legacy? Only time will tell. Right now, let's take a closer look at his opponent, Jermaine Ortiz, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Ortiz is 22-1. Of his 20 wins, 10 of them come by a knockout. Of his 2 losses, they were both on points. Out of 2,721 fighters in the world, at 140 pounds, he's ranked number 15. He's fought a career total of 138 pro rounds and carries in the ring a 50% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as the Technician. And the 29-year-old American is a 5'8" orthodox fighter with a 69-inch reach. He lives in Worcester, Massachusetts, USA. We last saw him fight Bautista, 19-2, stopped him in the 3rd. Yomar Alamo, 22-3, won a UD in the 10th. Mino, 24-9, stopped him in the 4th. Teofimo Lopez, 19-1, lost to UD in the 12th. Moran, 29-5, won a UD in the 10th. The fight before that, he lost on points to Vasily Lomachenko. If we're breaking down resumes, you got to give the strength of schedule to Jermaine Ortiz. He's been in there with the more high-caliber fighters. He doesn't have a perfect record. I should also mention that draw, because when we're talking about styles make fights, in 2021, he fought a guy, Joseph Adorno, and went to a draw. It was an 8-rounder, and he got dropped twice. I only reference that because we have seen signs of his durability. Hasn't been dropped since then. He's had 2 losses since then, but they've both been against former world champions and potential Hall of Famers in Loma and Teofimo Lopez. This current version of Jamaine, he's 3-0 since his last loss. He's throwing more punches. He's defensively sound. He's all around a technical boxer, and this guy could pretty much do everything just as good as everyone else does. The one knock on him, nothing that he does well jumps off the paper. He's not a big puncher. He's not going to have the speed advantage against Keyshawn Davis. And I feel that if he doesn't win the fight at his range and distance, and he doesn't start off with his jab and get Keyshawn's respect with his power and use the entire ring and frustrate Keyshawn, he's going to have an uphill battle having to deal with Keyshawn's size, speed, and power, even though it is at 140 pounds. Guys, before we take a look at the current Las Vegas odds, I do live streams every day. In the live streams, we break down all of the major boxing fights throughout the world, not just the main events. We go over the current odds. I give you my parlays, my predictions, underdogs, and more importantly, you guys get to know me a little bit more. I take your questions. I bring some of you guys on. So To be updated and tap into all of our bets and become a member of our JSP Insider community, just click the link that's pinned in the comment section below. You pay a couple bucks a month to become an insider, whether on Patreon or YouTube, and with that access, you join our very popular and growing professional betting community, our JSP Insider Discord. All right, guys, wherever you are in the world, let's pull out our betting apps and let's take a look at these odds. On the money line, Keyshawn Davis is the favorite. You put 100 on Keyshawn just to win, you get your money back plus $20. Jermaine Ortiz is a sizable underdog. 100 on Maine just to win, you get your money back plus $430. Ortiz is over a 4-1 dog. If you take Ortiz on points, they call him a technician for a reason. He has a high fight IQ. He knows how to use his jab. He knows how to frustrate his opponents. He shared the ring with the distance with Teo and Loma. If you take Jermaine Ortiz on points to win, it's plus 1,000. When I'm talking about a value play, this is what I'm talking about. There's one thing with picking big favorites and underdogs, which we like to do on the channel. I like finding my dogs of the week, so you guys get them every week. Just in the last 2 weeks, we picked J-Rod, who was at plus 480, and then the week before that, we picked Jorge Chavez in the rematch against Gucci, and he was at plus 240. But in this matchup with Maine being that big of a dog, I think the odds are a bit disrespectful, but I'm not picking him. I think that Keyshawn Davis is going to be business as usual for the businessman. I think he's not going to miss a beat at 26 years old. He fought in 2025. It's not like there's going to be ring rust. I think his size, his jab, his explosivity, his power, just his overall skill set is going to be too much. And I think with one electric performance, the boxing fandom, we have a short-term memory. You go viral, we forget all about those issues, and boom, he can put his foot right back into the conversation as one of the best fighters in the world. Guys, this is not an echo chamber. You guys know that. In the comment section below, let me know who you like here. Do you like Keyshawn or do you like Jamaine? Also, guys, if you haven't seen my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of a very exciting fight this week and a world title fight with the WBO and the Ring Magazine straps on the line at 140 pounds between the champion Teofimo Lopez and the challenger Shakur Stevenson, stay tuned to the channel because that's coming up right now.